I'm Diane Miller. I'm from the University of Saskatchewan and I teach in the College of Education. And one of the courses that I began last year is an inquiry course into school and community gardens. And we're looking at them as sites of teaching and learning. Now I took this up because I thought it would be very simple. And I was really interested in the fact that we had already done this. In the beginning of the 20th century, during the World Wars and so on, every school had a garden. So I thought that's all I would kind of really look at. But I went to a conference in Montreal called Changing the Menu. This was an amazing conference. It brought practitioners and educators from all walks, very, very few teacher educators, but it just opened up a whole line of inquiry for myself and eventually for my students. So in the course itself, it was an inquiry class, so they did independent research on questions that they had. Some of them were around pretty basic things. Some of them had never planted a seed before, so they worked on planting seeds. And developing the curricular connections to that. Others took up issues of food security, food sovereignty, and food literacy, and looking into the research on that, but also connecting with community organizations. So we connected with teachers in the field who do school gardens, some of them through the Agriculture in the Classroom program, others who just decided, hey, we need a school garden, let's make one. So I really, really honor that kind of teacher agency and innovation. And that was a really exciting piece of it. We also have a lot of community organizations who are doing amazing things on the grassroots. So CHEP Good Food Inc. is one of them. It provides nutrition programs to the schools in the city of Saskatoon. And so we made connections with CHEP. We made connections with the community garden that the international students at the university created. And then the university wanted to take it away and told them that they could go somewhere else to do their community gardening. And they launched a political effort to keep the garden. And when they talk about what that garden meant for them, it is just so heart-inspiring because they developed a community, and the food is important because for international students it's very hard to get fresh produce, but the sense of community that they developed was even more important. And one woman talks about the garden becoming her childcare. And before, she was very isolated in the apartment with two small children. But because they had a garden then, she could take the children out, they could play, and she could work in the garden and still supervise them, and they became involved in the food production as well over time. And every month they have a community get together and they share the foods that they have grown, and because it's an international community, they get to know one another across many different nations and many levels of expertise, and it's a very, very positive story. So that's my garden of possibilities.